Yo, RX back with another breakdown of UFC 300. Let's go, baby. We made it after 4 shit Apex cards in a row. We finally made it to the 300. Yeah, let's fucking go, man. I'm so excited. Banger fucking card. 300. Stacked like you couldn't imagine. And it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be really fun. I don't need to tell you this card's great. You know it's great. I don't need to tell you that everyone is excited for this shit. I can't wait. You can't wait. Let's just get into this shit. No need to ramble. So, the only thing I'll say before I do get into breakdown is please like, comment, and subscribe. 100 subs goal is the 100 subs is the goal by the end of the year, is what I was trying to say. So like, yeah, not really anything else I can think to say besides, you wanna break down some fights? I do. For once, after 4 shit fight nights in a row, I'm ready to break down some bangers, and we got 13 bangers on this card on my birthday, might I add. That's fucking awesome. So let's break down UFC 300. We started in the early prelims with a fucking banger, as we have in the men's bantamweight division. No, this is not a glitch. This is the legit first fight of the night. We have Deiveson, Deuce da Guerra, Figueiredo versus Cody, No Love, Garbrandt. Oh shit, we are starting off hot in that. This is the greatest first fight in UFC history. This is the greatest opening fight ever. Like, this is a fight night main event level fight, and it's main eventing in its opening 300. Let's do it. A lot of these fights I probably won't go too in depth on the fighters because you fucking know them. But I'll talk about them a little bit. Let's start with the God of War, Deiveson Figueiredo. Deiveson, of course, in the UFC is 11-3-1, former flyweight champion, all of that. But we are now talking about him as a bantamweight. And at bantamweight, he is 1-0. In his bantamweight debut, he did beat Rob Font. He looked fine. Definitely not his best performance, but it wasn't a terrible performance. He definitely didn't look bad. He didn't look as great as he did at flyweight, but it was his bantamweight debut, and it was a pretty easy matchup for him. So it was not hard for him to win that fight. Just how good was he gonna look? And again, he looked okay. Now he is getting probably a step down with Cody Garbrandt, but it's a super winnable fight for him, and we all know why. I'll break that down in a minute, but I agree with the booking of this fight for Figgy. No, I really don't think it's a sorry about that. It's a lose-lose scenario for him. If he wins, cool, you beat Cody Garbrandt. If you lose, you just lost to Cody Garbrandt as like a -300 favorite, and now you fucking lost your drop down the rankings. So not very much in it for Figgy besides getting a cool highlight reel on 300, but guess that's good enough for him. To talk about his opponent, Cody Garbrandt. Cody in the UFC is 9-5. We all know the story of Cody Garbrandt. Undefeated, dominant cruise. Then it all went wrong. EPO Shaw beat him twice. Pedro Munoz beat him. He did bounce back with a win against Rafael Assunção, but it's Rafael Assunção. Then Rob Font beat the shit out of him. Kattar France KO'd him, but he is getting a career resurgence in a way, on a 2-fight winning streak, beating Trevin Jones and Brian Kelleher, which is great to see for Cody, but they did have to give him the bottom of the barrel fighters for him to win a fight. So, like, it's nice to see him on his first winning streak since he won the belt in 2016. Goddamn, dude fought 4 times. but it's definitely, like, it's a very fraudulent, I don't know if that's the right word for it, but a very, padded is the right word, very padded fucking, win streak from fighting a dude who's terrible and a dude who's very old. So, but yeah, Cody, great to see him on a 2-fight winning streak, going into a fight with some momentum, and he's only 32 years old. That's a weird thing. Cody, I think I talked about this with the Keller fight when I broke that down. Like, people talk about him like he's fucking in his late 30s. He's 32. He just has no fucking chin. So, if he wins this fight, it'd be giant for him. It might be the boost he needs to get fucking some shit going, man. Do I think that happens? Fuck no. But it would be big for Cody, and I hope it happens. I've been a fan of Cody Garbrandt for years. I fucking he's been one of my favorite fighters for a long time, and like I said, I would love to get back on track here. Or not get back on track, but get a giant win here. I just have strong doubts, so, yeah. The betting on first fight have Deiveson Figueiredo -300 to +240. I agree. You could have Figgy up to -400. Unless he gets clipped, I don't see Figgy losing this fight. Figgy definitely has more ways of winning this fight. Most likely he's going to put Cody out cold, but he could just fucking pick him apart. Like, if we're really breaking down the fight, who's better on the feet? Cody is quicker, but I think with his chin being so shit, Figgy's definitely going to look better than he really is, because he lands a clean enough punch. Cody's out cold. Ground game, I don't think that's going to be needed in this fight. Like, maybe Cody's better on the ground, but it's, again, I doubt it. I really don't think we're going to be seeing much of that in this fight. I think these two are just going to brawl, and either someone's going out or we're getting a decision. More likely Cody's going to go out. But, yeah, it's going to be a kind of sad way to start the card, but it's still going to be a cool highlight to start the card. So, who do I think is going to win? Deiveson Figueiredo. Who am I going to pick to win? It's UFC 300 on my birthday. I'm going to be biased as shit. I'm putting my pick in as Mr. Cody No Love Garbrandt. Let's fucking go. No Love. I think we're like on 8.0 at this point. Get the W. Get back in the top 10. Let's do it. I'm on Cody Garbrandt by knockout in the first or second. Has Figgy ever been finished? Well, outside submitted, he was KO'd once in the third round. That's not in the UFC. Oh, who the fuck KO'd him? Oh, they're counting that. I didn't think they would count that fucking. Okay. Damn, Marina gave him all 3 of his fucking losses. I'm gonna go Cody Garbrandt by knockout / TKO in the. You know, I don't think I've ever picked Cody to win out by anything besides knockout in the first. Never mind. In his last fight, I literally picked him to win by second round KO. We're starting off UFC 300 high. Cody Garbrandt by knockout in the first. Let's go. UFC 300, gonna start off with a finish. It's probably gonna be Cody getting finished, but I'm gonna pick my boy, Mr. No Love, to get a knockout in the first round, my bad. So, that's how I'm starting tonight picks. I don't care if I get picks wrong on this. I want it to be a great card. That's all I care about. Cody Garbrandt by knockout in the first. Let's fucking go. After that, we head to our second fight of the night in the lightweight division. This fight should be on the main card, in my opinion, for one giant reason, which of course I think we already know, but I'll talk about in a minute. As in our second fight of the night in the lightweight division, we have Bobby King Green versus Jim fucking Miller. What a fucking banger for our second fight of the night. 2 OGs gonna throw down. And I can't wait for this fight. Well, let's talk about Bobby Green first. Like I said, I'm not going to go very in-depth on these guys. You know them. But I'll still talk about them a little bit. Bobby Green in the UFC is 12-10-1-1. very up and down UFC career, especially in the last couple years. He has had some ups. He went on a nice winning streak, 4-fight winning streak here. Then he got beat by Fiziev in a banger, another 2-fight winning streak, and that bullshit. Fucking Dober got him, and then he went on another 2-fight winning streak, a giant upset against Dawson, and then his last fight, he got flatlined by Jalin Turner, and one of the worst stoppages you'll ever fucking see. So, and he's come back really quickly after that, which I don't like. He is fighting Miller, who's not a great power puncher and striker, so maybe he could survive, maybe that will not be the biggest factor, but still, coming back after that kind of KO in 4 months is not great, so. But Bobby Green's a gangster, and we know what he's gonna do. He's gonna go in there, do his fucking weird fighting style, and we'll see how it goes, man. It's gonna be, he's gonna, he has his ways of winning this fight, very clear ways of winning this fight, but finding an OG like Jim Miller, so. And another thing I will throw in, which, because they've been talked about a couple times, this is the 4th time this fight's been booked. It was booked in fucking 2014, 10 years ago, but Bobby Green got hurt, then it got booked in 2021, and Bobby Green got fucking almost, he collapsed, and it was booked in 2022, and Bobby Green failed a fucking drug test. Thank fuck, it's finally happening. 10 fucking years in the making, man. That's insane. That's fuck. Hey, Miller stayed on the card. He fought Yancey. Max was on that card. Oh, cool. But thank God this fight's finally gonna happen, because it's a banger. And then to talk about the OG of OGs, Mr. 100, Jim fucking Miller. 26, 16, and 1 in the UFC. I'll just point out the obvious things here. This man was on UFC 100. He got a win against Mac Danzig. This man was on UFC 200 when he got a win against Takanori Gomi. And this man is on UFC 300. Let's fucking go. A true legend in the sport. 40 years old. And he's still fighting at a high level. Like, he could easily be on a 6-fight winning streak, in my opinion. You could give him this Hernandez fight, which I think I talked about that last week. He could easily be on a 6-fight winning streak, which is fucking insane. So, but whatever, still to be fucking 5-1 in your last 6 at 40 years old at lightweight's fucking insane. So, a true legend. He's still fighting at a high level. It seems like somehow his striking is getting better through the years. His powers, he has good power. His striking has been able to get better over time. Of course, his ground game, one of the greatest submission artists in UFC history. 12 submissions. Self-explanatory there. So, he's a fucking OG. Happy he did get his 300 wish. And if he wins, I hope he retires, because it's the perfect time. You ain't making it to 400. But you never know with Jim fucking Miller. True fucking legend. The betting odds for this fight have Bobby Green minus 190 to plus 160. I might move them down a small bit to maybe a minus 170. Probably minus 170. Bobby should be a favorite, but you definitely got to factor in, he did just get KO'd 4 months ago brutally. Jim is dangerous on the feet. He could land that shot on the ground. We know Jim Miller is Jim Miller. And I think he definitely is going to be hungrier for this one. He wants to keep his undefeated streak at 100 cards. So I think he's definitely going to be hungrier in that regard. And I'm interested. I'm very interested to see how this fight goes. Good chance it's just Bobby Green stuffing takedowns and oh wow, I'm actually really shocked by this. High chance that it's just Bobby Green doing his normal bopping shots, fucking bopping, weaving, stuffing takedowns, and he wins a decision. Very good chance for that, but he could trip, he could fall, Jim could jump on him on the ground, Jim could land that big power shot. What's the reach? The exact same reach, 2 inches. So Bobby doesn't have that giant reach advantage that I thought he would have, but I guess not. there's definitely ways Jim could win this fight, but there's ways Bobby could win. I know I'm talking about all the ways Jim could win, but Bobby could put Jim down. But like, Bobby does not have a lot of power, but Jim is 40 years old, has taken a lot of damage, and Bobby does land a lot of strikes. He's a volume striker, and eventually that volume could lead to a finish. Or, in like the Grant Dawson fight, he just fucking drops you. So, and Grant Dawson's kind of just a shitty Jim Miller. So, Jim Miller right now is what Grant Dawson wishes he was. So. But, yeah, I can't wait for this fight, and I think Bobby Green's probably gonna win it, but how do you not pick Jim Miller in this fight? Like, if you take picks serious, then sure, I get it. I don't take them serious, especially for this card. I just want to have fun. I'm putting my pick into Jim Miller. I want to see him go 3-0 and retire at this card. I doubt the retirement part will happen if he did win, but I'm gonna fucking hope he does. Either way, I'm putting my pick in as Jim fucking Miller. I'm gonna go by submission in the first, because he won by decision at 100. He won by TKO/knockout at 200. Let's get that submission. Jim Miller by submission in the first. Let's fucking go. Jim fucking Miller by submission in the first. Bobby, second time in the last fucking year you're fighting someone we all love and we'd like to see you lose to. Don't, please, give us this one, man. Yeah, Tony, you're an asshole, but I'm okay with it. What happens? Let Jim win this shit, man. He deserves it. Jim Miller by submission in the first. After that, we head to another banger, which I'm going to say that for pretty much every fight on the card, outside of maybe 3 or 4, as we have in the women's strawweight division, a banger that definitely is not getting the respect it deserves, but stupid MMA fans are stupid MMA fans, as we have Jéssica Beta Estoca Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you gotta know. Or you better know, because if you know about these two, you know this is gonna be a fucking banger. We got two strikers with a lot of power, and maybe someone going down in this fight. I can't wait. Let's fucking talk about the OG, Jéssica Andrade, a legend in women's MMA. 16-10 in UFC. We all know her fucking career. She had a very interesting 2023, fighting 5 times, going 2-3. I've said this before, you can't really get mad at those losses. Erin Blanchfield, great fighter, don't care what y'all say. Xiaonan's literally fighting for the belt. Tatiana Suarez is going to win the belt off the winner of the co-main on this card. So, and I get, and in between those, she beat Lauren Murphy and Mackenzie Dern, so she can still beat shit fighters. So, yeah, Andrade's a fucking legend. I don't need to tell you that. You should already know that. So many records in UFC. I think the most bonuses for a female or some shit. Fucking 6 KOs in UFC for a female. That's insane. A fucking strawweight who's 5'1" or 5'2". No, 5'1", yeah. She had 3 submissions. When the fuck was she? Well, lame-ish, I guess, but when the fuck was she out here submitting people? Joanne Wood and Pachenko. Huh. Interesting. But yeah, Andrade, we know what Andrade's gonna do. She's gonna walk forward like the little fucking bulldozer she is, and she's gonna try and knock you the fuck out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In this fight, she is fighting someone who's a striker, so that's a big advantage for Andrade, because Andrade always sucks against wrestlers. So we'll see how she does against a striker, since she did just crush Mackenzie Dern, she did not look great against Mackenzie. She did get rocked once or twice, but Mackenzie throws strikes so weird that if you get hit by him, fine. And Dern has weird power, so. But, yeah, Andrade, an OG, a legend, only 32 years old, which is fucking insane. And, fighting a striker, which I know she loves, because she sucks against grapplers. Speaking of fighters who suck against grapplers, Marina Rodriguez. Marina is 7-3-2 in the UFC. She's definitely the first kind of under-the-radar fighter on this card, so I will break her down a little more. Her best wins in the UFC are Tecia Torres, Amanda Ribas, Michelle Waterson twice, Mackenzie Dern, and Yan Xiaonan. That's actually crazy how 2 years later, who's on the early prelims and who's fighting for the belt. Her 3 losses are Carla Esparza, even though that was a fucking robbery. I'll stick by that until I'll die on that hill. Amanda Lemos and Verna Jandiroba, and she has 2 draws with Miranda Marcos and Sincere Calvillo. How the fuck? Marina, great fighter, great striker, a lot of power, very lengthy for strawweight, has a really long reach. She's a really great fighter. When she's fighting at her best, like the Michelle Waterson fight, she is scary. She's very talented. But her weakness is definitely grapplers like Jandiroba, who just embarrassed her, or Amanda Lemos, who just caught her in the right spot. But yeah, when Marina's on, she's on, and she's a great fighter. And she is 36 years old, which is crazy. But she's definitely not that in fight age, so that's definitely an advantage in her regard. So yeah, Marina's great. Her and Andrade's styles are gonna match up fucking perfectly for a banger. We got 2 strikers who like to throw power, who have a lot of power, and who are probably gonna try and knock each other's fucking teeth into the front row. So let's see what happens here. I can't fucking wait. The Bangouts first fight are pretty much a pick'em. I think Andrade has become a small favorite, or maybe Marina, I don't remember. I know someone is like a small favorite right now, which I don't agree. I think a pick'em is perfect for this fight. I am not even 100% sure who I'm picking. I'm a fan of both. I could see either winning. I'm definitely 50-50 on the fight. I definitely agree with these odds. I know those are not what they are right now, but that's what they should be. And I think it's a fucking amazing fight. Ever since I saw this fight get booked, I was hyped because it's an amazing. I won after Marina's last fight, after Andrade's fight with Dern. I said this is the fight they should do, and because it's such a great fight on paper, so I can't fucking wait. Who am I going with? I'm probably gonna put my pick in as Marina Rodriguez, but I don't care who wins this fight. I'm a big fan of both. Andrade is an OG. I always like to see what fight. Marina has always been one of my favorite female fighters. I don't care who wins this fight. Just give us a banger. We know it's gonna be on the feet. Who's going to take it? I don't know. I'm going to put my pick in as Marina Rodriguez. Probably, let's hope. It would be a big win for her, but it's a big win. It's a big win for whoever gets the win here. Andrade knock off Marina, coming off the best performance of her career. Marina beat a legend like Andrade. It's a double-sided coin, and it's gonna be a great fight. So I'm gonna put my pick in as Marina Rodriguez. I can't fucking wait. I think it's gonna be a banger card, and I guess let's just wait and see what happens. So I'm gonna go Marina Rodriguez by. I'm gonna say decision. I see a banger happening. I see some drops happening. I don't know if I see a finish. I think we see a banger. This could definitely be this would be 5 tonight on a lot of cards. Not this one because this is definitely exists, but this will definitely be a banger fight. And I'm gonna go Marina Rodriguez by decision. Could a finish happen? More than likely. But, yeah, I'm gonna say we get a banger for 15 minutes, and that's gonna be that. So, I'm gonna go Marina Rodriguez by decision. Can't fucking wait. And now, time for the featured early prelim, the most recent fight added to UFC 300. I think just added like a month ago, not even. As we have a banger in the lightweight division between Jalin the Tarantula Turner versus Renato Money Moicano. Another banger and another fight that I can't wait for. I think it's going to be a really fun fight. You see the 2 fighters. I think we definitely the 2 very maybe on these early prelims. Between them and Marina Rodriguez are definitely the least known fighters, but they're still very well known because they're great fighters in the top 15. So, yeah, let's talk about Jalin Turner. Jalin in the UFC is 7-4, some of his wins are Josh Kulibau, Brooke Weaver, Euros Medic, Jamie Malarkey, Brad Riddell, Bobby Green. His losses are Vicente Luque, Matt Frivola, Mateusz Gamrot, and Dan Hooker. I think he won this Gamrot fight. A lot of people do. So really, I say he's 8-3 in the UFC. So yeah, but it's not, and that's not even like a good win. Gamrot's fucking trash. But and that Hooker fight was a banger. Can't even get mad at that. So Jalin, very, very, very big lightweight. Pretty much should be a welterweight. He like. You could even say he might be one of those guys who would be perfect at that 160 weight class everyone wants for some reason. He's not a lightweight. I think he did start off at welterweight. I think that's like the Luque fight. I don't know. He only had one fight at welterweight. That was Luque, but I think that's short notice if I'm correct. So, like, was he even lightweight? Yeah. So I think that's just a short notice fight. I think welterweight would be if he bulked up right, and I think he could do good work at welterweight, but be a weight bully at lightweight, fuck it, why not? Jalen's a very talented fighter, great striker, great power, really good on the ground. He has a good mix of KOs and he has 4 submissions. But a very good balance of KOs and submissions because he is so lengthy and he can just wrap you up like a tarantula. Yeah, he's just a really solid fighter. His weaknesses are definitely his ground game and his gas tank. We've seen both those exploited in the past. Gamrot took him down a lot. Hooker just broke him over time. So if he doesn't finish you, he's probably gonna lose. That's why look at his last 3 losses are by decision, even though he beat Gamrot. So yeah, Turner's definitely, like I said, he's definitely, I don't want to say he's finish or bust, because I don't think that's true, since the Gamrot fight kind of points to that, but I definitely think he's more, if he doesn't finish you, there's a good chance you could beat him, so, but to not get finished by this dude is definitely fucking hard when he can punch you from across the cage, he has power in those hands, and he can submit you. Good fucking luck. Good luck. To talk about his opponent, Renato Money Moicano. Moicano in UFC is 10-5. He's an OG. Definitely an OG of the UFC at this point. How old was he? 30-something? 34 years old. Yeah, he's an OG. Some of his wins, Jeremy Stevens, I did not know that was a fight that happened. Calvin Kattar, crazy. Cub Swanson, Hazovich, Jai Herbert, Alex Hernandez, Brad Riddell, Drew Dober. His losses, Brian Ortega, Jose Aldo, Korean Zombie, Fiziev, and RDA. The dude only has lost to great fighters. Like, when your worst loss in the UFC is, would you say it's 2022 RDA or TKZ? Like, he's only lost to really good fighters. Like, and he's had some really nice wins. And when he was at featherweight, to get Jeremy Stevens, Calvin Kattar, and Cub Swanson, that's a fucking good list. And then his wins at lightweight has not been as strong, like Drew Dober, and that's pretty much it. Brad Riddell and Hernandez are pretty terrible, but still, he's fought fucking Fiziev and RDA. So, RDA was a 5-round round, like a week notice, and he fucking went 5 rounds and like looked good in round 5. So, Moicano's a tough dude. Good gas tank, a lot of heart, but his striking is definitely terrible. He's tough, but he definitely gets wobbled at times. Against Drew Dober, he was wobbled. But he is tough. Like I said, he's very tough. That's why he's only been KO'd in UFC 3 times. And that's just when guys swarm him or clip him. Aldo just swarmed him. TKZ and Fiziev just clipped him. And Ortega submitted him. So, he's good. Moicano's a good fighter, and now that he's building this Money Moicano thing, it's fun. I think we all like Moicano because he's just funny. But he is 34 years old. He is fighting a very lengthy fighter like Turner, who I think definitely not a great matchup for Moicano if you really look at it. And it's going to be interesting. I am very intrigued to see how this goes. So, yeah, and I think Moicano's path to victory is very set in stone. Same thing he did against Dober, wrestle. but is he going to want to do that on UFC 300 when the bonuses are 300k? We'll see. Gonna be interesting. Gonna be a fun fight. The betting odds have Jalin Turner minus 225 to plus 185. I agree, but I would move Turner down a little bit to maybe like 205, 210 at most, 200. You could even go 195, but I think that's reach. I think between 210 and 200, he should be a big favorite because I think his ways of winning are definitely more viable than Moicano's. But Moicano definitely has that way of winning where he just takes Turner down, gasses him out, grinds him out, maybe even finishes him. So Moicano definitely has his ways of winning, and he is a veteran and all that. He's been on these big cards before. Turner has really not. So it's interesting. It's gonna be a good fight. It's definitely an interesting fight where you could see an underdog get an upset. So yeah, but who am I picking in this fight? I am gonna go with the favorite, Jalin Turner. I think he'll be able to. What I actually think is going to happen, I think he's going to rock Moicano on the feet. Moicano's going to shoot a takedown, and Turner's going to lock up a guillotine like he did with... He did that with someone. Was it Euros? No. I thought he did that with someone, but I think he's going to fucking crack Moicano. I think it was Brad Riddell. I think he's going to crack Moicano, going to make Moicano panic and shoot, and I think he's going to get himself submitted. So I'm going to go Jalin Turner by submission in the first. Again, is there a world where Moicano wrestles Turner to a win? Of course. I definitely think that's a very possible thing that could happen, but it's possible. I don't think it's very probable. I would say maybe if they fight 10 times, that happens. 4 at most. 4, maybe. That's pushing it. So I'm going to go Jalin Turner by submission in the first. I think he's either going to KO him or submit him. I'm going to go submission. So, yeah. Jalin Turner by submission in the first. Should be a fun fight. So those are the prelims. Early fucking prelims. We're half an hour in and we're just done with the early prelims. This is going to be my longest breakdown ever. Can't wait. But yeah, amazing early prelims. Greatest early prelims of all time. Do I even need to tell you that? Banger after banger after banger after banger. And now I move to the prelims, which I think are a little weaker than the early prelims. The middle part. But the beginning and end are definitely strong, so I can't wait. Let's start the prelims with the prelim opener in the featherweight division. A banger between Super Sodiq Yusuff versus Diego Lopes. A fucking banger here. What? I really don't need to tell you that. You can look at this fight and know that. One dude has bangers. The other dude has bangers. That means banger. So let's start the breakdown of this banger by talking about Super Sodiq. Sodiq in UFC is 6-2. His wins are some guy. I'm not gonna even fucking try that. Xiaonan, Moraes, Benitez, Feely, Caceres, and Sheamus. His 2 losses are Arnold Allen and Edson Barboza. Sodiq's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's not really got to show that against a very good the best fighters he's fought are Feely, Barboza, Caceres, and Allen. And that's a very Barboza and Allen, very great fighters. And then you go to Caceres and Feely, journeyman. It's he's Yusuff's not really got to fight those top guys, and when he has, the 2 guys, Allen and Barboza, he lost. Allen just outclassed him, was a better fighter. And then Edson, I don't look at that fight as Sodiq getting fraud checked or anything, because I think that's fucking stupid. I look at this as this was a learning experience for Sodiq. He fought a legend, almost finished him, but he didn't, and he gassed out and got beat up, which, by the way, that's what I predicted would happen. I don't think you can get mad at that. I think that's just, you're fighting a fucking legend, what do you expect? That was 6 months ago. I think in that time he probably has improved his gas tank a little bit because he is a good fighter. Maybe, we don't know. But I think he probably has, and if he has, he's like, Sodiq's always been a solid fighter. He has those bombs in his hands, which we've seen before, like Benitez. He is a good fighter. His gas tank is a weakness, but happens. He even has a ground game. We saw that against Sheamus. So, Sodiq is a solid fighter, but the one thing I will say, as of right now, do I think he's a top 15 level fighter at featherweight? No. I bunch him in there with guys like Ige and Bryce Mitchell, who I just don't look at as top 15 level guys. I think there's better unranked fighters at that division than them. And fuck, I think Yusuff is fighting one of them. So, Yusuff is talented. He is a very talented dude, but do I look at him in a really high level division like featherweight? Do I think he's a top 15 level guy that could be top 10 or a champion? Fuck no. So, maybe Sodiq shuts me up. We'll see. I just don't really see it with him. So I think the dude is good. And I think if he's smart, that Barboza fight was a learning lesson. But you're gonna need to do more than learn from Edson to get better and climb those rankings. So yeah. To talk about his opponent, Diego Lopes, the Rookie of the Year in 2023 when it comes to the UFC. I don't think I put anyone above him. If he wasn't 1, he was fucking 2, but I'm pretty sure I had him at 1 because this dude came in and fucking cooked. He stepped in on short notice to fight Evloev and almost beat him. Some people would tell you he won that fight. Then he smashed Gavin Tucker in fucking 98 seconds, and then he smashed Pat Sabatini in 90 seconds. Like, dude, this kid's good. He's a fucking problem. He has striking. He has power. His ground game is great. He's an issue. Like, that Lobo gym is known for Irene Aldana, Alexa Grasso, and he's the fucking coach there. He's the fucking coach. Like, he trained fucking, like, Lupe Godinez. I'm pretty sure he's, like, the fucking grappling coach. But, like, dude, the dude is actually really good. Like, Alessandro Costa, another great fucking fighter. Like, that gym is just producing talent. And when you got guys and girls like Grasso, Irene, Lupe, Costa, Diego Lopes, dude, you're gonna be good. And Lopez is really fucking great. Like, fuck, he might be the second best fighter from that gym. Of course, Grasso's 1, she's the fucking champion, but he might have passed Irene at this point. So, Lopez is good. Like, and he's shown he's well-rounded. Like, he submitted Gavin Tucker. He KO'd Pat Sabatini. Like, the dude has power. The only thing we've not... Well, no, we saw him go 3 rounds against Evloev, and he looked good. So, this kid's good. This kid's gonna be a fucking issue at featherweight. Like, am I gonna say he's gonna be a champion? I don't believe so. But I could see him being a top 10 dude. Like, if I brought up the top 10 right now, which I will, real quick, I think he beats some of them. Like I said, I think he might beat Giga. He would smack. He beats these guys. He might beat Giga. He might beat Emmett. I think he beats Allen. Ortega would be. Oh my god, that'd be a fight. Like, he almost beat Evloev. He might beat Yair. Like, this dude's good, and this is his chance to. This is his coming out party. Well, let's see if he can get that ranking. So, Diego Lopes is great. Sodiq Yusuff is great. This fight is great. Fuck. But just a banger. The betting odds for this fight have Diego Lopes minus 140 to plus 115. I agree. I think you could have Lopes up to minus 160, 170 even. I would go 160. He should win this fight. I think he is a better fighter than Sodiq. He's taller. Reaching an inch and a half reach advantage. And if we break down this fight on the feet, I think it's close. And within a power, I think it's close. And on the ground, Lopez is levels above Sodiq, so I think I think Lopez is that guy. I think he's him. And I think he's gonna win this fight. I think he's going to win this fight, get in the rankings, and really put people on notice. If you're not already on notice for Diego Lopez, because how the fuck could you not be? So, I'm gonna go Diego Lopez to win this fight. Could I be wrong? Yes. Could I see Yusuff clipping him with a shot or stopping his takedowns or something like that? Yes, I could see Yusuff doing that. I just don't think it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna go Diego Lopez by submission in the first. I think he's going to do what he does. Either he's going to clip Yusuff and knock him out, or he's going to submit Yusuff. I'm going to go submission. I don't think he's going to knock Yusuff out. If Edson didn't with that spinning wheel kick that landed perfectly, I don't think Lopes will. But I think Diego will finish Sodiq, be the first fighter to ever do that. And I'm going to go Diego Lopes by submission in the first. Can't wait. Let's see if Diego really is him. I think he is. So, yeah, not much else to say there. After that, Holly Holm by decision. Not talking about that fight. Don't give a fuck. Worst fight on the card. After that, we go to our second to last prelim, the co-main of the prelims. I really don't care about it, for one pretty big reason, but I'll talk about that. As in our co-main event of the prelims, we have in the featherweight division, Calvin, the Boston finisher, Kattar, versus Aljamain Sterling. I don't care about an Aljamain Sterling fight that he's good chance of winning. I don't get hyped for Sterling fights unless he's getting knocked out by O'Malley, so yeah. But I'm happy to see Kattar back. This is a decent fight, and I'll talk about I'll drop the bias a little bit and talk about the fight more in a second, like at least the Aljo part of the fight more. But let's start talking about the Boston finisher, who's finally back, Calvin Kattar. Kattar in the UFC is 7-5. He's had some really nice wins. Andre Fili, Shane Burgos, Ricardo Lamas, Jeremy Stevens, Dan Ige, Giga Chikadze. That was definitely one of those fights for him. Put him on the map. But then he does have some losses. Moicano, The Beat, Max Holloway, Josh Emmett, and Arnold Allen. You know, that Allen one. That Emmett and Allen one are definitely asterisked, because Emmett, no one actually thinks Emmett won that fight. And the Allen fight, he fucking blew out his knee, so. But, yeah, he has taken some beatings. Max beat the shit out of him. Moicano beat him up. The Beat, he would have beat if it was a 5-rounder. But, that very reminds me of Hamza and Usman when I think about it, so. Yeah. Kattar, well, we know what we're getting with him. He's a really good boxer. Really good elbows. He's not really a kicker. We've not really seen his ground game much. But he's a decent fighter, and it's good to see him back. There's definitely there's some red flags. He's been off for 18 months with a knee injury at 36 years old. At featherweight, that's things I don't love to see, especially a dude who's taken the damage he has. I definitely don't love to see that, but they are giving him not a terrible matchup for his return. It could be worse. He could be fighting a Brian Ortega, Yair Rodriguez, something like that. So to be getting Aljamain Sterling, who the worst thing he's gonna do to you is fucking cuddle with you, it's not that bad. So definitely red flags with Kattar in this fight. Like I said, knee injury, 18 months, 36 years old. But let's see how he does look in this fight, in a fight where he is miles ahead on the feet, but he is definitely miles behind on the ground. So it's a very interesting fight for Kattar. Definitely, it's interesting, and definitely not what I was expecting when I heard Aljo was moving up to featherweight. So yeah. But to talk about Aljamain, he is moving up to featherweight finally after a bantamweight run. He is not the greatest bantamweight of all time. You're a fucking idiot if you believe that. He's not even close. But he did have a run at bantamweight for many years, going 15-4. Some of those wins are definitely fluky. But that's besides the point. Now he is a featherweight finally, which is his weight class. Let's be honest. He was killing himself to make bantamweight, and now he does get to bulk up and fight at featherweight. So I definitely think this is the right move for Aljo as a fighter. I definitely think it's the smartest thing for him as he gets older, as 35 years old. There's only pros and cons to this move up. Pros, he's not cutting as much weight. I guarantee he's barely cutting more than 10 pounds. I think 10 pounds might be much. He probably walks around 150, 155, and I'm being generous there. So, but definitely cons are he does not have that size advantage, because he was bigger than some bandwidth you're fighting. He was bigger than Piotr. He was bigger than TJ. So it's definitely, it's the pros and cons. He's gonna be bigger, so his guy I think will get wore on a little more, but it's interesting. And again, this is definitely not the fight I was expecting for Aljo when he's moving up to featherweight. I definitely would have not done this fight. I said you should have done Aljo and Max, but since what Max is doing is more important, I think Aljo and Ortega would have been really fun, but Ortega ain't gonna turn around and fight that quick. I'm trying to think who else you could have gave him. Like a Dan Ige would have been really good. Someone who's just like someone like that. Or I think Kattar is a weird one. It's like the stylistic matchup is weird as shit, and it's just like it's weird. I think Giga would have been interesting, but whatever, shit happens. And I think Kattar is a very favorable debut for Sterling. There's definitely a world where he does wrap him up and either submit him or beat him just by a boring decision. But that's the only way he wins on defeat. Again, he's not a good striker. Like he's landed he's not a good striker. I don't know, I definitely think he has to be careful in this fight because he is fighting another good striker, and what we saw in his last fight against the best striker in the UFC, he threw a stupid shot and got knocked out. Against Kattar, you could play that same risk. You throw a bad shot, Kattar's gonna throw an elbow that goes through your fucking face. So, it's a weird matchup. They match up really odd. But I'm intrigued. I am intrigued to see how Actor Lame looks at featherweight. He, physically, he looks good, bulked up. He was shredded at bantamweight, but he was drained. Now he is, bulky and ripped at fucking, featherweight. So, we'll see. I am intrigued. So, I am very interested. The betting first I have Aljamain Sterling, -140 to +120. I would agree. I would have Sterling 140, 150. That does not mean I'm fucking picking him, though, because I fucking hate Sterling and I'm going Kattar all the way. I hope Kattar elbows this fucking dude's chin off, but I doubt that's gonna happen. I think this is going to a decision. I think if a finish did happen in this fight, I think it would be Kattar getting submitted. And do I see Kattar knocking out Aljo? I think it could happen. I don't think it will. Could I see and let's get the obvious out the way. Kattar ain't submitting Aljo. Aljo ain't KOing Kattar. Simple. I think it's pretty much Aljo submission or decision. I'm gonna go count Kattar by decision, obviously. I don't think that's gonna happen. If Kattar does win, I think it will be a decision, but I don't think it will be, I definitely think, I don't know, it's a weird fight. I'm definitely, if I was unbiased, I definitely would be picking Aljo. I think, what do I add, a 36-year-old alpha, 18-month layoff, I think Aljo will probably be able to wrap him up and cuddle with him for 15 minutes. But I am going to go Calvin Kattar, because fuck Aljo. So, yeah, I won't even be shocked or mad if Aljo wins here, but I'm biased, so Calvin Kattar, get a W. So, another thing, the last thing I want to add on this, if Aljo loses, what the fuck happens with this dude? So, that's intriguing. That's also a very interesting part. If he loses, he's fucked. So what are you gonna go fight fucking unranked featherweight? I doubt it. So, whatever. Calvin Kattar by decision. Fuck Aljo. And now time for the featured prelim, a banger in the light heavyweight division. As we have a top 5 banger between Jiří BJP Procházka versus Aleksandar Rakić. I saw Rakic's last name is the most widely, maybe, how do I want to put it? The most said wrong name in MMA. I've heard it said so many ways, and I swear, it's never really right. It never sounds right. Or you could just be Usman and Cejudo and call him right kick. Geniuses. But besides that, let's talk about this banger fight between two very good fighters. And let's start with the former champion, Jiří Procházka. Jiří in the UFC is 3-1. His 3 wins, Volkan Oezdemir, Dominic Reyes, Glover Teixeira. And his 1 loss, as we all know, was to Alex Pereira. Yeah, Jiří fought Alex and lost. Can't even get mad at that shit. And it was a terrible stoppage anyway. I'm intrigued in to see how Jiří bounces back after that loss, especially very quickly on the same card as Alex. But yeah, Jiří is a great fighter. His fighting style is definitely stupid with how he fights at times, letting himself, like, I literally saw a clip on Twitter today where he jumped into the pocket against Alex with his hands down, trying to grab Alex's fucking wrists or whatever. He got fucking bopped in the chin, so he definitely fights stupid, but in this fight against Rakić, I don't think that's a worry. Like, against Reyes and Glover and Pereira, guys who hit hard and all that, are very scary fighters. Yeah, you definitely want to fucking be a little more careful, but Rakić, I'm just not worried about Rakić like I am Pereira and the other guys. So, maybe that's casual or some shit, and I'm not even saying Rakić's a bad fighter, but especially compared to who Jiří has fought, is definitely, like, on the threat level, it's way lower than Glover, Alex. Even Reyes, who did, I think, knocked him out with a fucking kick to the face at one point in that fight. So, I don't know, Rakić is good, but I don't know, compared to who Jiří has been fighting, it's just, like, But, yeah, Jiří's great, and, let's see how he bounced back after his first loss in the UFC. I'm intrigued. Let's see if the Samurai still got... He's only 31 years old, but the damage this dude has taken has fucking put years on his life, man. Crazy. But to talk about his opponent, Aleksandar Rakić in the UFC is 6-2. Some of his wins are Justin Ledet, Devin Clark, Jimmy Manuwa, Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, and his 2 losses are Volkan Oezdemir and Jan Blachowicz. That Jan fight definitely can have an asterisk because he did injure his leg. Same thing that happened with Kattar. Kind of the same story with him and Kattar. Like, they both got injured in 2022, been off for a year plus, and now they're back in very tough return fights. So, and Rakic's return fight is 10 times harder than Aljamain Sterling, though, so. But, how would I describe Rakić? A dude with a lot of potential, but he doesn't show it. Like, especially in his last 2 wins against Anthony and Thiago, he should have looked way better. Anthony Smith that was one of the worst main events of that year. It was boring, he did nothing. And then against Thiago Santos, I don't even fucking remember that fight. I'm dead ass. I remember that card at 259, a card I remember very well. I don't remember a thing that fucking happened in that fight. Like, he's just boring. Like, outside of Jimmy Manuwa knockout, what has he done? And he lost to Volkan fucking Oezdemir. You know, I've heard that was a robbery, so I'm not gonna go back and watch it because it's a fucking Aleksandar Rakić fight. But, like, Rakic's a dude with talent and potential, but again, he's just boring. So, but, and to stay consistent with what I said about Kattar, he is coming back after a long layoff, even longer than 18 fucking months, in a very tough fight after a leg injury, and he's 32 years old. He's much younger, which is definitely an advantage for him, but to be coming off a long layoff on a giant card in a super tough fight at 32 years old at light heavyweight, it's going to be interesting. So, let's see if Rakić can get a giant win in his return. We'll see. I don't know, man. I'm intrigued. We'll see if it happens. The betting odds for this fight were actually shocking, in my opinion. Aleksandar Rakić minus 130 to plus 110. What are people seeing with this guy? Like, he's boring, man. I would have Jiří minus 150, 160. Do I worry about Jiří fighting like a dipshit and getting clipped? Yes. But am I that worried with that? Am I very worried against Rakić in that regard? No. Not really. Like, Rakic's probably gonna try and wrestle him. He's gonna chop down the legs and try and wrestle him, and it might work. It might fucking work. But at the same time, you're gonna have to kill Jiří to beat him. Or Mark Goddard. So, the joke was Mark Goddard beat Jiří more than Pereira did, because that was a shitty stoppage, but whatever. I'm not gonna count out Jiří. I don't know how he's the underdog here. I think the odds have actually went more to a pick'em, which I even understand that more, but I would still have Jiří minus 150, 160. I just don't see it with Rakić. Yes, Jiří fights like a dumbass, but that's how he fights, and he's fucking won that belt doing that shit, so I'm not gonna count out Jiří. I'm gonna pick Jiří. I think he's gonna win this fight, and if anything, I maybe go contra more insane fucking prediction. I think he's gonna finish. I think he's gonna fucking break Rakić. I think like he might lose round 1 and all that. I think he might break the motherfucker later. Yeah, I am very intrigued to see how this goes, but I am gonna pick Jiří. But I'm trying to think, how do I think he's gonna win this fight? I see a finish. Would be the most Jiří way of winning. Fucking some bullshit. I'm gonna go Jiří Procházka by knockout / TKO in the... I'm debating between the second and third. I don't think it's gonna be first round. I'm gonna go the third round. I think he's gonna break Rakić. I think round 1, Rakić might have a good round. He might take it. Round 2, he might even. But Jiří's still gonna be there ready to go in round 3. Well, Rakić. We'll see. I'm gonna go Jiří Procházka by knockout in the third. I think it's gonna break him. I could be wrong, of course. I think it's gonna break him. So, my pick is Jiří Procházka by knockout in the third. We'll see what happens. Either fucking way. What an amazing featured prelim. And, yeah, those are the prelims. Outside of these 2 duds, in my opinion, we got fucking 6 great fights. Like, you got 5 great fights here with an amazing featured prelim. That's the prelims of 300 that we deserve. Then we go to the main card, which is very good at points. Very fucking good. Trust me, I know. But then, man, it has some duds. And trust me, I'm going to talk about them being fucking stupid placements in a second. But, yeah, great prelims. Can't wait. Now let's talk about this main card of UFC 300. As we begin in the middleweight division with a complete joke of a fight just with where it's placed. And I'll talk about it. I was thinking I was just going to rush through this fight because it doesn't matter, but I will talk about the stupidity of this placement in a second. As we begin the main card of UFC 300 with Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage. Yeah, Bo Nickal's going to win this fight. Lock of the night, whatever. I'm not going to waste my time talking about the fight. We know who's going to win. He's the lock of the night. Biggest favorite in 15 years, I saw. So... But let's just talk about the obvious. Why the fuck is this on the main card? I get you want to build up Bo Nickal. Just putting him on 300 alone should do that. Why the fuck is he on the main card? Again, if he was at least fighting someone capable of giving him a challenge. If he was even fighting Jung Young Park or fucking Andre Muniz, Rodolfo Vieira, GM3 even. Jacob fucking no, my Malkoun, Malkoun Petrosky, I'm pushing it. But if he was fighting someone even a little bit talented who could give him a little bit of a fight, okay, Cody fucking Brundage. What? Like, I get you you want to build Bo Nickal up. I think Bo Nickal's fucking great. Like, I think hating on him for his placement, I think hating on him is stupid. He's not the one putting himself in this position. The UFC is. I think this is a waste of time for Bo. I think I'm gonna say it now, and I think I've said this before, but if I haven't on recording or I know I've said it on Twitter, I think he's gonna be a champion. I think this dude is scary talented. He's only 20-something, 28 years old. He's the best wrestler in the UFC, hands down. If he can just get good striking, which we saw in his last fight, he got a knockout, he's gonna be a champion. Middleweight's garbage. If you put him in the cage of Izzy right now, with Drake is right now, with Costa, Whitaker, he beats them in my opinion. Maybe a few of those are tough fights. I think he wins. Like, there's very few guys in top 15 I think give him challenge. He's that good. And I get, again, you want to build him up. Him being on the card, period, would build him up. He did not need the main card spot. They tried to put him over Charles fucking Vera. So, at least they moved him down from there, but it's not much better. Like, he's still opening up the main card. This should be Jim Miller's main card spot. Like, this not being Jim Miller's main card opening spot is bullshit. Like, and I like Bo. Bo's one of my favorite fighters. I like I said, I just told you I think he's gonna be a champion. But come on, UFC. This is bullshit and you know it. So, of course, Bo Nickal's gonna win. He's gonna look great. Biggest favorite in 15 years. But come on, man. Pathetic. Bo Nickal by submission in the first. The easiest pick of the year. But come on, man. I'm disappointed. And my day is ruined now. I expected better. But UFC or the way the UFC orders cards is terrible. Like, they pick names out of a hat and they put them. So whatever, fuck it. Bo, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the UFC. You're gonna win, but it's still bullshit. That's all I gotta say. After that, we had to our second fight of the night. The second fight of the main card, and it's a fucking banger of all bangers. I have a lot to say here, and I can't wait to talk. As in our second fight of the main card, we have one of the best fights of the year on paper. Just I could go on about how great this fight is, but let me say their names first. As we have in the lightweight division, Charles the Bronx Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan. I'm gonna actually start off this breakdown with a hot take. I look at this fight as a fight between the two best 155ers right now. If you want to throw in Gaethje, fine. Two of the top three. I think these are the two best lightweights in the world right now. But Islam fucking sucks. Shut the fuck up. And there's no one else. It's Arman and Charles. Gaethje if you're being nice. And I think these two are better than Gaethje. One of them beat him. So, that's how I know that, you're casual Islam hater. No, Islam's not good. He lost to Volk. So, and he's ducking everyone. He's trying to fight Poirier. He's a bitch. These are the two best lightweights in the world right now. These two they should strip that little bitch Islam since he's pretending to be hurt and put the belt on this fight, because these are two real championship level fighters. But enough about Islam's bitch ass. This card should be main evented by him and Charles rematching, but he's injured. His pussy hurts, or whatever. Fuck Islam. Let's talk about Charles Oliveira. I don't need to say much because it's Charles Oliveira. 22-9-1 in the UFC. Most submissions in UFC history. Some of the most bonuses ever. Blah, blah, blah. I can go on for 10 days about how great Charles is. Yes, he lost Islam. That was an off night. I don't care what anyone says. Then he came back, crushed Dariush real quick, and now he's here. He should be fighting Islam. But he's a man. He fucking he fucking somehow trains like a fucking idiot and got injured, and then Islam's injured, quote. So, but he's a man. He's a real fighter, and he's gonna risk his title shot against Arman Tsarukyan. So I respect it. Could it blow up in his face? We'll see. I hope it doesn't. I don't need to tell you about Charles much. One of the greatest fighters of all time, second greatest lightweight of all time, a legend of legends. Kill or be killed. He'll knock you down, you'll knock him down. If he knocks you down, you're probably getting submitted. Just one of the greatest fighters of all time, a legend, first ballot Hall of Famer. And let's see how he does against Arman, who's a very, very, very tough test. And to talk about Mr. Tsarukyan, he is 8-2 in the UFC. Some of his best wins are Oliver Urban Mercer, Matt Frivola, Joel Alvarez, Demir Ismagulov, and Beneil Dariush. He doesn't have that statement win yet. He doesn't have that top guy win yet. Like, he's a top 5 ranked guy, but he's never got to fight one of those top guys. Like, the highest ranked guy he's fought is Beneil, and that's because Beneil fucking sucks. Like, Dustin has ducked him. Gaethje has ducked him. Fuck yeah, Islam probably ducked him for a rematch. Fucking all these top guys have ducked him, and do I blame him? No, because I think he smashes Poirier. I would love to see him fight Gaethje. Chandler's busy, but like I know a lot of people don't like Arman for reasons. Whatever. The Bobby Green shit was pussy shit, but when this dude's on fighting at his best, like the Dariush fight, I think he's the second best lightweight in the world. He could be a champion. He's that good. He's really underperformed at times, like the Jao Quinn Silva fight, like the Garbrandt fight, even though he got robbed. He's a great fighter in my opinion, and win or lose this week, I'm not going to change my opinion, and I've been saying for like a year plus that this dude's one of the best lightweights in the world, and I stick by it. So, and I don't know. I think the dude's really good. I can't really say much else. He's gonna be a tough challenge for Charles, but Charles is gonna be a tough challenge for him. Pretty basic. It's an amazing fight. The second best fight on the card because it's just two amazing fighters. So, yeah. What's not amazing are these bang odds, which I think are fucking insane. Arman Tsarukyan at -225 is blasphemy. this should be a pick'em, in my opinion. If not, if I know a lot of people would say Charles should be the favorite. I don't disagree, but I don't agree either. I would have it a pick'em. I could see this going either way. Charles, we know that a legend, but he is beatable. I don't like to call him a quitter, but he has gave up in fights. He's not done that in years, but eventually, I don't think those tendencies just leave. And then Tsarukyan, his biggest fight of his life, biggest spotlight of his career, fighting a legend who's going to test him. Can he live up to the moment? He fucking, less than a year ago, he got rocked by João Quinn Silva. Less than a year later, he's fighting Charles Oliveira. I don't know, man. I think, like I said, these are just two high-level, amazing fighters that are going to put on a great fight. And I'm intrigued. I can't wait to see what happens. But I feel like I'm super interested. I can't wait. So, yeah. Who am I picking in this fight? I was gonna ask the question, who do I think is actually gonna win? I don't even know. I'm gonna put my pick in as Charles Oliveira, because I love Charles Oliveira, like every MMA fan should. But I don't even fucking know. I could see this going either fucking way. I don't think it's a clear-cut win for Charles. I don't think it's a clear-cut win for Arman. I think those betting odds are fucking stupid. This is actually This is the second time he's an underdog. Since, he's an underdog against Benil, and that was the easiest money I ever fucking made, if you bet on that. Underdog again here, he might make people look stupid again, man. Never know with Charlie Olives. But I am gonna go Charles Oliveira, and I'm gonna go, I don't think this is, if Charles wins this fight, I don't see it going 15 minutes. It could, I don't see it. I'm gonna go Charles Oliveira by submission in the second. That's what I've been thinking in my head this whole time as I break this fight down. I think round one's gonna be insane, but I think Charles' crazy pace could really start wearing on Arman. I think he might be able to get on his back or get him to the ground. I think he could submit him in the second round. So I'm gonna go Charlie Olive by submission in the second. I really don't know who's gonna win this fight. I'm just excited. If Arman wins, I'm not shocked. If Charles wins, I'm not shocked. Just give us a banger like it should be. I'm going Charles Oliveira by submission in the second. The winner is the real champion in my eyes, because they are going to beat Islam in a rematch. Charles by submission in the second. After that, now we're really talking as we get to the real main event of this card. One of the best fights. Oh, the best fight of the year. We can give this fight of the year, fight of the night, fight of the this and that now. This is going to be batshit insane and fucking amazing. As in our third fight of the main card, the real main event should be the co-main event. In reality, we have, for the BMF title in the lightweight division, Justin the Highlight Gaethje versus Max Blessed Holloway. Do I really need to break down this fight? You know these two. Justin Gaethje, your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. Max Holloway, your favorite fighter's other favorite fighter. Two legends, two OGs, two dudes who don't know what a boring fight is. I can't fucking wait to see this happen. It's gonna be amazing. So there's gonna be blood. I doubt there's gonna be a finish, but there's gonna be blood, and it's gonna be a lot of fucking fun for 25 minutes or less, but more likely 25 minutes. So I can't fucking wait. I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty. The betting odds have Justin Gaethje minus 210 plus 175. I don't agree. I'd probably have Justin minus 200. 210 and higher, I think, so much. He should win this fight. I think Gaethje should win this fight. I think Max is biting off more than he can chew, especially at 32 years old. Fighting a guy like Gaethje, dude, he got beat up by Dustin Poirier at lightweight. What the fuck is that happen against Gaethje? But I definitely think Max can win this fight. Gaethje, let's break down the fight as their skills. On the feet, I think Max is better. Well, let's be honest, we know Max is better. Cardio-wise, I think Max is better. But durability-wise, well, I think that's definitely Max's game. But then, by that logic, you would pick Max. But but by that logic, at the same time, this is gonna be a normal, chill fight. This is gonna be two psychopaths going at it until someone drops or till that horn sounds in round 5. So, I think Gaethje's in craziness can fucking win this fight and probably will. So I can't wait for this fight. Definitely, like I said, there's definitely Max has the advantages in most skills. Like Gaethje has power, but you're not knocking out Max Holloway. Come on. But durability, striking, cardio, all are on Max's side. But in a fire fight that's gonna end in a lot of blood and a lot of fucking fun, does that really matter? We'll see. So, my pick here is going to be Justin Gaethje. I think he's going to win this fight. If Max won, would I be shocked? Not really. But I definitely don't think it's going to happen. I think Gaethje should win this. Like, I could see Gaethje getting the first 3 rounds and slowing down. Or, fuck, I think it might be a brawl for 5 rounds. We'll see. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm going Justin Gaethje by decision. I don't see a finish happening in this fight. I just see a 25-minute banger, and I can't wait. I also can't wait to see Mark Coleman put the belt on the winner, because that's fucking amazing. Dana, thank you for doing that. That's fucking awesome. So, can't wait. Gaethje is my pick, but as if my pick as a fan is I don't give a shit. I want to watch a banger. So, I'm going Gaethje by decision. Can't wait. I can't just add any more to this fight that you don't already know. Come on now. If I need to tell you about how great this fight is, you're an idiot. Simple. Now we go into the co-main event of the evening. AKA pretty much a fucking calm down after you just watched Charles and Gaethje fight back to back, because after you watch Charles and Justin Gaethje fight back to back, I think we're all gonna need a fucking a chill pill, and I think this is gonna be that. So yeah. As in our co-main event of the evening in the strawweight division for the women's strawweight championship of the world, we have the battle of China between Magnum Zhang Weili versus Yan 9 Xiaonan. It's a fight. I don't care, to be honest. Like, do I really need to break down this fight? Weili's gonna win. We all know it. It's just, how is she gonna win? Like, that's been my question with this fight all week. How is Weili gonna win? What is Zhang gonna do to win this fight? Her best chance is knocking Weili out. That ain't fucking it. You're not Rose. It ain't happening. Like, Weili's just better. Striking, wrestling, cardio, experience, fucking... She's better. This should not even be Yan Xiaonan. This should be Tatiana Suarez. Like, this is... I get why it's Yan Xiaonan. It's the cool story, blah, 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 blah. She should not even fucking be here. This should be fucking Tatiana Suarez and Weili Zhang. Like, come on, man. It's like... in a way I feel bad for Yan, because she's getting fucking thrown to the wolves as in the co-main of UFC 300. I guess good for her. I guess the good thing for her is no one will be really paying attention. So, but like yes, Weili's gonna win this fight. Like I said, I don't need to fucking tell you that again. So yeah, I feel it's just like I just don't care. If it was Tatiana Suarez, now you piqued my interest. Yan Xiaonan, Weili's gonna look good in another one. It's just gonna be a lame-ish fight again. Maybe Weili finishes her this time. I doubt it. Cool. Like, Jesus. Weili's gonna win the fight. Don't really gotta say much else. How do I think Weili's gonna... Oh, yeah, the betting odds, minus 420 for Weili. She could be up to minus 500. But how do I think Weili is gonna win this fight? Probably decision. Could she submit Yan? Yes. Do I think she will? No. I think Weili's gonna fight some calm and smart and just wrestle her. What's the advantage? So Yan is an inch taller and the same reach. I think Weili just winning a quick decision, 50-45 across the board. If she wants to knock her on the feet, she probably will. If she wants to submit her, she probably will. But I see Weili laying on Yan for 25 minutes and getting the W. So either way, I think Yan's gonna walk off the boat and still Not much to say. I'm going Zhang Weili by decision. Pretty easy. Whatever. It's gonna be a fight. And now for the main event of UFC 300. We have the light heavyweight championship on the line between Alex Pereira versus Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. Yeah. I know I just hyped it up and how I announced it as this like banger. Yeah, Alex Pereira's gonna win this fight pretty easily. I don't really need to tell you why. Come on, it's Alex Pereira. Yeah, that's the long and short of it. I'll just tell you, this is just a warm-up for Ankalaev. This is just a quick warm-up for Alex before he fights Ankalaev. That's all I look at it as. That's all I look at it as, and that's all it is. Pretty fucking easy. This is just a warm-up for Ankalaev. Because Jamal Hill, yeah, cool, go knock out Jamal Hill real quick. Like, because Ankalaev got his warm-up against Johnny, Alex gets his against Jamal, then Alex and Ank and fucking whatever the fuck. So, I can't wait. It's gonna be a banger. So, I'm talking about Alex. I'm talking about Alex and Ank being a banger. I've heard. I know a lot of people say, "Why are you just discounting Hill?" Let me talk about Hill for a second. I was a fan of Jamal Hill. He was my favorite light heavyweight until he became a bitch. He blocked me on Twitter for no fucking reason, and he's just been a weird little bitch. It's like, dude, I was a fan of Jamal Hill. I called him being a fucking champion for years. But now he's just turned into a fucking bitch. And to be honest, at the time, Hill is a good fighter. But there's way... he is the fourth best light heavyweight right now. Alex is 1, Ank is 2, and Jiří is 3. I think all three of those guys beat Hill. I probably think there might be guys outside of that who might beat Hill. Fuck, I think if Ratchet could give him a run for his money, nah, not really. But fuck, Azamat Moicano is pretty good, man. Khalil Roundtree is really good. Vitor Portino is really good. Hill's just like... yeah, comparing Hill to Ank, Jiří, and Alex, he's like mid. He's mid. He has power. Ooh. He's a fucking fat dude who has power. He's just a heavyweight. Like, but he beat Glover up. Alex is way better than Glover. But he did this and that. Okay, let me say this hypothetical fucking scenario. Could could Jamal Hill land this fucking lucky shot that KOs Alex? Sure, a fluke could happen. It's not gonna. I don't make the rules. I just fucking state them. Alex Pereira is going to easily win this fight, retain his belt, and go into a fight with Magomed Ankalaev later in the year, which will be one of the biggest fights of the year, because now we're talking about a fight I really don't know who wins. But in the regard of Pereira and Hill, I know exactly who wins, and it's Alex Pereira. And I think the betting odds are fucking stupid. Alex should be minus 500, if not more. Like, I really just that's the same way to look at... Nah, I think this is a little closer than the Weili fight, to be honest with you. So, like, if I had to have Weili minus 5... Let's say if I had Weili minus 500, I'd have Alex minus 450 or some shit. Alex should win this fight easily. Could Jamal get a fluke punch like Izzy did? Yes. Is it gonna happen? No. Alex is gonna get revenge for Glover, knock this dude out, and retain to end UFC 300. So my last pick of the night of UFC 300 is Alex Pereira, and still by knockout in the first, send Fat Boy to the Shadow Realm. That's all I gotta say, because that's all it's gonna be. By the way, how the fuck is Alex? I made a tweet on these stupid rankings. Alex is 1, bro. But yeah. Alex is great, can't wait, and still, Fat Boy going to sleep. Boom! Those are my picks. To go over them one last time. We have Cody Garbrandt by knockout in the first, Jim Miller by submission in the first, Marina Rodriguez by decision, Jalin Turner by submission in the first. Diego Lopes by submission in the first. Holly Holm by decision. Calvin Kattar by decision. Jiří Procházka by knockout in the third. Bo Nickal by submission in the first. My lock for the night, of course. Charles Oliveira by submission in the second. Justin Gaethje by decision. Zhang Weili by decision. And Alex Pereira by knockout in the first. Bang. What a fucking card. Like, when the only bad fights on the card are this garbage that I hope she misses weight and it doesn't happen. It's an Aljamain Sterling fight. It probably won't be very good. And I really don't care about this too much. And I'm not going to I'm only adding this because it's on the main card. If this is on the prelims, fine, whatever. This I don't really care about. Should be Tatiana fourth. There's 3 bad or mid fights. 4 bad, mid, or terrible decisions. So, but you still got fucking the rest of the great card. Like, the greatest prelims you'll ever fucking see. You got back-to-back amazing fights. Is UFC 300, is it what we expected it to be? No. And can you blame us for having high expectations of Conor, Jones, this and that, and the other thing? No, because that's what we were told was gonna happen, so whatever. Yeah, I have really nothing else to say. I can't fucking wait for this card on my fucking birthday. Happy birthday to me. And the world works in really weird ways. So, but I can't wait for this card. Obviously, I'm a May fan, and I know what I'm looking at, and that's an amazing card. One of the maybe the greatest card of all time on paper. So, let's get to it. Saturday night, can't wait. But before then, we gotta fucking get past Friday and the weigh-ins and all that. Everything's gonna go perfect there. Then fight time. So, yeah, not very much else to say. I'll stop rambling on. You will hear from me probably Sunday 1 p.m. EST, maybe. If not, Monday 10 a.m. EST. We'll see. I'll try and recap Saturday night, but with how crazy this card's gonna be and how late it's gonna go, I'm not gonna make a promise I can't keep. So, but yeah, I'll recap this card either Sunday or Monday, and yeah, I can't fucking wait. I know you can't fucking wait, because it's UFC 300, baby. So, enough ramble. Let's get to fights. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of the year. And as always, RX out. Good vibes only and always.